One verse, Kendrick declared himself the king of New York and the West Coast, called out his friends and peers, Drake, J. Cole, Big Sean, Meek Mill, and more, reignited the competitive spirit of hip-hop that had been missing for years. Key lines from Control. I'm usually homeboys with the same niggas I'm rhyming with, but this is hip-hop and them niggas should know what time it is. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. The industry was in shock. Rappers hadn't been this direct since the early 2000s. Some felt disrespected, others felt motivated, but nobody could ignore Kendrick anymore. Fallout with Drake. A silent war begins. Before Control, Kendrick and Drake were on good terms. They collaborated on Poetic Justice, and Kendrick had even toured with him. But Drake didn't take the verse lightly. While Kendrick claimed it wasn't personal, Drake responded in interviews saying he didn't feel the need to prove anything. Their relationship turned cold, and subliminal shots followed in their music. Kendrick never directly responded, but his next moves proved he was on a different level. 2014, the Grammys snub, the fuel to Kendrick's fire. In early 2014, Kendrick was nominated for 7 Grammy Awards, including Best Rap Album for Good Kid, M.A.A.d. City. Fans and critics expected him to win big. Instead, the award went to Macklemore's The Heist. The hip-hop world was outraged. Even Macklemore himself texted Kendrick after the ceremony apologizing for the win. But Kendrick didn't complain. He channeled that frustration into his next project, one that would prove why he was truly untouchable in the rap game. To Pimp a Butterfly, redefining hip-hop. After the Grammy snub and the fire lit beneath him, Kendrick Lamar knew he had to push boundaries, not just in rap, but in music as a whole. The pressure was mounting, and the world was waiting for him to release something even bigger. What Kendrick did next shocked everyone. 2015, a risky but genius move, To Pimp a Butterfly. In 2015, Kendrick Lamar dropped his 3rd studio album, To Pimp a Butterfly. From the moment the first notes of Wesley's Theory hit, it was clear this album wasn't going to follow any conventional path. Kendrick didn't just make another rap album. He redefined what hip-hop could be. The album was a bold departure from anything he had previously done. Kendrick leaned heavily on jazz, funk, and soul, creating a soundscape that was as much a tribute to the past as it was a call for change in the present. It wasn't about catchy radio hits or simple rhymes. It was about artistry, activism, and confronting hard truths. The musical production was spearheaded by Thundercat, Flying Lotus, and other avant-garde artists, adding layers of complexity to the album. Kendrick's lyrics were political, personal, and raw, drawing from his own experiences and the collective struggles of Black Americans. Themes of Black struggle and empowerment. The centerpiece of To Pimp a Butterfly was the exploration of Black identity, from historical oppression to present-day challenges. Tracks like The Blacker the Berry and Institutionalized tackled issues of systemic racism, self-hate, and the mental toll of growing up Black in America. But it wasn't all grim. Kendrick also delivered a message of hope and empowerment. The song All Right became an anthem for the Black Lives Matter movement, with its defiant refrain, "We gon' be all right," providing a soundtrack to protests and rallies across the country. And we hate Popo, wanna kill us dead in the street for show. I'm at the preacher's door, my knees getting weak and my gun might blow. Kendrick's commitment to blending music with activism was a game changer. He wasn't just making music for the charts, he was creating soundtracks for social movements. Grammy dominance. The album was both a critical and commercial success, earning Kendrick 5 Grammy Awards, including Best Rap Album. To Pimp a Butterfly became a cultural touchstone, hailed as one of the most important albums of the 21st century. However, the night was not without its controversy. Despite sweeping the rap categories, Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly lost Album of the Year to Taylor Swift's 1989. Fans and critics were stunned. How could an album so politically and musically significant be overlooked for the top prize? But Kendrick remained gracious, choosing not to let the loss overshadow the profound impact his work had made. In many ways, To Pimp a Butterfly wasn't just an album, it was a movement, and Kendrick had firmly established himself as a leader in that movement. The question now was, What would he do next? Damn, Pulitzer Prize and global domination. After the critical success and social impact of To Pimp a Butterfly, the world was left wondering, what's next for Kendrick Lamar? Could he continue to push the boundaries of hip-hop, or would he buckle under the weight of expectations? What Kendrick did next not only solidified his position as a modern-day icon, but also marked him as one of the most significant cultural figures of the 2010s. 2017, Kendrick balances art and commercial success. Damn. In 2017, Kendrick Lamar dropped Damn, a project that was as much an artistic statement as it was a mainstream triumph. While To Pimp a Butterfly had been bold in its political commentary, Damn was a return to a more radio-friendly format, fusing introspective lyricism with mass appeal. It was a masterstroke in balance, an album that was both artistic and commercially viable. At the core of Damn was a duality, the tension between Kendrick's struggle with his own identity, his fame, and the pressures of the world around him. In the opening track, Blood, he tells the story of being wrongfully shot, setting the stage for the personal and existential reflections that would unfold throughout the album. The album's production was minimalistic yet powerful, driven by hard-hitting beats and stripped-back instrumentals. Kendrick teamed up with producers like Mike Will Made It, Soundwave, and The Alchemist, combining trap influences with boom bap, making for a sound that was both modern and timeless. Massive hits and cultural impact. As soon as Damn dropped, it was clear Kendrick had crafted an album that would dominate the charts. The singles Humble and DNA became instant anthems, with the former achieving massive radio play and the latter gaining widespread acclaim for its hard-hitting, battle rap intensity. Humble was a powerful statement, with Kendrick delivering a message of self-awareness and humility amidst a world of excess. The hook alone, Sit Down, Be Humble, became a rallying cry for anyone tired of the ego-driven world of celebrity. The song's success was reinforced by a memorable music video featuring Kendrick in various bold, artistic visuals, highlighting his ability to push boundaries in every aspect of his career. Meanwhile, DNA tapped into Kendrick's fierce, unapologetic sense of self. The song explores the deep complexities of Black identity and pride, with Kendrick's lyricism cutting through the noise like a blade. I got royalty inside my DNA became one of his most iconic lines, reflecting the deep roots of his heritage and the struggles that shaped his artistry. Not only did Damn dominate in the United States, but it quickly became a global phenomenon. Kendrick's influence had spread far beyond hip-hop, with fans from all over the world rallying behind his message. Whether it was the lyrical dexterity of his flow, his exploration of complex themes like good versus evil, mental health, and society's pressures, or the sonic diversity of the project, Damn was something everyone could connect with no matter where they came from. Pulitzer Prize winner, a historic achievement. The true highlight of Damn came in 2018, when Kendrick Lamar made history by becoming the first rapper ever to win the Pulitzer Prize for music. This prestigious award, previously given to composers and musicians working in classical and jazz genres, was a historic achievement for hip-hop as a genre and for Kendrick as an artist. In his acceptance speech, Kendrick acknowledged the cultural and artistic significance of the award, but it was clear that this wasn't just about him. He viewed the recognition as a testament to hip-hop as a whole, its ability to push boundaries, explore complex themes, and serve as a reflection of society's struggles and triumphs. Kendrick's win opened the doors for a broader conversation about hip-hop's place in the cultural landscape, showing that the genre had evolved beyond street narratives and party anthems into a platform for poetic expression, political commentary, and social awareness. His triumph also set a precedent for future artists, cementing the idea that rap, a genre that was once dismissed by many as mere entertainment, was a powerful form of modern poetry and a legitimate medium for social and cultural critique. The Pulitzer Prize brought Kendrick's voice to an even larger, more global audience, allowing his influence to spread further. Kendrick becomes a global icon. By the end of 2017, Kendrick Lamar had firmly established himself as more than just a rapper. He was now a global icon. The success of Damn catapulted him to new heights. But what truly set Kendrick apart was his ability to maintain his integrity while achieving global recognition. His touring, which included stops in North America, Europe, and Australia, showcased his evolution as a performer, bringing his visual artistry and thought-provoking lyrics to live audiences. Kendrick's concerts weren't just music events, they were experiences that allowed fans to connect with his message on a deeper level. Kendrick also expanded his reach outside of music. He became a spokesperson for Black empowerment, a voice for the voiceless, and a leader in the cultural conversation. Whether through his partnerships with major brands, his involvement in social activism, or his personal philosophy of self-improvement, Kendrick's influence grew well beyond his music. His collaborations with global brands like Nike and Reebok showcased his entrepreneurial prowess, while his involvement in causes like Black Lives Matter and the struggle for racial equality solidified his place as a cultural force with a voice that echoed beyond the stage. Kendrick's cultural legacy. By the time Damn became a global sensation, Kendrick Lamar had built a legacy that would shape music for generations. His ability to fuse art with activism, to speak candidly about social justice while maintaining an artistic edge, set a new standard for hip-hop artists to follow. His influence, recognized by both critics and fans, proved that the music was not only about entertainment, it was about cultural change. In the years following Damn, Kendrick Lamar's impact would continue to grow. The question now was no longer whether he would dominate the rap game. He already had. The question was how much further Kendrick Lamar's reach would extend. From his contributions to hip-hop to his growing role in shaping cultural and political movements, Kendrick Lamar's story was far from over. Black Panther and his cultural impact. In 2018, Kendrick Lamar's influence transcended the music industry and entered the realm of cinema and global culture in a way that no one had anticipated. The film Black Panther, directed by Ryan Coogler, was more than just another superhero movie. It was a cultural phenomenon. And at the heart of it all was Kendrick Lamar, who not only curated the film's soundtrack but also became a significant force in the way Black stories were told in the media. Curating the Black Panther soundtrack, a movement defined. The Black Panther soundtrack was a monumental achievement that blended African rhythms, hip-hop, and soul into a cohesive narrative that perfectly complemented the film's themes of identity, heritage, and resistance. Kendrick Lamar, as both the curator and executive producer, infused the album with a deep sense of purpose and pride. His selection of artists and the music he produced for the album was a reflection of the cultural significance of Black Panther, celebrating African culture while acknowledging the struggles of the Black diaspora. The album's lead single, All the Stars, a collaboration with SZA, became an anthem of empowerment. The song's lush instrumentation paired with Kendrick's introspective verses reflected the boldness and complexity of the film's central themes. All the Stars wasn't just a hit, it was an instant classic that captured the essence of what Black Panther stood for, a celebration of Black excellence and the reclaiming of African identity. But the soundtrack wasn't just about feel-good anthems. Kendrick used it as a platform to introduce audiences to underground African artists and hip-hop collaborations that bridged the gap between continents. Black Panther showcased songs like X featuring Schoolboy Q, 2 Chainz and Saudi, and King's Dead featuring J-Rock, Future, and James Blake, which combined trap beats with traditional African elements, making it clear that Black art had a new sound, one that was deeply rooted in African heritage while still being thoroughly modern. Kendrick's ability to curate this album was no accident. He had always been deeply connected to his African roots, and through Black Panther he demonstrated how hip-hop could serve as a tool for cultural reclamation. His work on the soundtrack solidified his place not only as an artist, but as a cultural curator who understood the power of music in shaping narratives. The album went on to become one of the most critically acclaimed soundtracks of all time, reflecting Kendrick's rare ability to create art that resonates beyond music. Kendrick's role in Black storytelling, more than just a rapper. Kendrick Lamar's involvement in Black Panther signified his evolution from a rapper to a global cultural leader. He wasn't just lending his musical talents to a movie, he was actively participating in the redefinition of Black storytelling. As one of the most influential artists of his generation, Kendrick understood that Black Panther wasn't just about entertainment, it was about representation. The film itself, a mainstream blockbuster with a predominantly Black cast, told a story of Afrofuturism, where Black people were empowered and united under the leadership of a technologically advanced African nation, Wakanda. It was a film that reframed the narrative around African culture, offering a vision of strength and success rather than the victimhood often portrayed in mainstream media. Kendrick, with his own musical journey that explored themes of Black identity, empowerment, and resilience, became the perfect voice to amplify these themes. For Kendrick, Black Panther represented more than just a chance to collaborate on a movie project. It was an opportunity to shape a narrative that celebrated Black power, Black love, and Black pride in a world where these elements were too often overlooked or misrepresented. Through his involvement in the soundtrack and the film's wider cultural impact, Kendrick helped to amplify the message of unity and strength, pushing back against the notion that Black stories were only valuable when seen through the lens of struggle. As the world saw the global success of Black Panther, Kendrick's cultural influence expanded beyond the world of music and film. He became a symbol of Black empowerment, his art acting as a voice for the Black community and a catalyst for change. He was no longer just a rapper who told his own story. Kendrick Lamar was now part of a larger movement, using his platform to reshape the way Black people were viewed and represented in mainstream culture. The legacy of Black Panther and Kendrick's impact. The impact of Black Panther on the cultural landscape was undeniable. It shattered records at the box office and became a rallying cry for Black communities worldwide. But perhaps its most significant achievement was in the way it allowed Black people to see themselves in a new light, a light that was proud, powerful, and unapologetically African. Kendrick Lamar's role in shaping that light cannot be overstated. He wasn't just a part of Black Panther's success, he was integral to it. The film's cultural significance was matched by the revolutionary work Kendrick had done in hip-hop for years, pushing the genre to engage with social issues and personal stories in a way that had never been done before. As the years passed, the collaboration between Kendrick Lamar and Black Panther stood as a powerful reminder of the importance of cultural representation and how artists like Kendrick could play a pivotal role in shaping narratives that empowered and inspired millions. Kendrick's participation in Black Panther was a moment that not only defined a year in pop culture, but also cemented his legacy as a storyteller and cultural innovator. Through his music and influence, Kendrick helped to build a future where Black voices and Black stories were celebrated, not just for what they had endured, but for what they could become. Personal life and marriage struggles. While Kendrick Lamar's career continued to soar, his personal life, especially his relationship with Whitney Alford, his high school sweetheart, remained a constant source of both support and scrutiny. Unlike many celebrities whose relationships became fodder for tabloids, Kendrick's commitment to his partner and family life was an integral part of his identity. Yet, as with any relationship under the intense spotlight of fame, their journey was not without its challenges. Kendrick and Whitney Alford, a love that withstood the spotlight. Kendrick and Whitney's relationship began long before his rise to fame. The couple met during their high school years in Compton, and despite the ever-growing attention Kendrick received as his career exploded, they maintained their connection. Kendrick has often referred to Whitney as a source of stability and grounding in his life. She was not only his partner, but also his confidant, someone who knew him before the accolades and the world stage. Whitney Alford, a talented makeup artist and entrepreneur, had always kept a relatively low profile compared to Kendrick. Despite their fame, she continued to focus on her career while Kendrick's life took on the extremes of superstardom. Their ability to keep their relationship private amidst the constant media attention was a testament to their strong bond. Kendrick would often reference her in interviews and through his music, acknowledging the quiet but significant role she played in his journey. However, the public nature of their relationship did come with its fair share of challenges. While Kendrick rarely spoke in depth about his personal life, Rumors about their relationship surfaced from time to time, particularly when it came to their engagement and eventual marriage. Their decision to marry in 2015 was a deeply personal one that Kendrick described as both a spiritual and emotional milestone. Though they had been together for years, their relationship was still subjected to the expectations and assumptions of the public eye. Fatherhood, a transformative change in perspective. In 2019, Kendrick Lamar welcomed his first child with Whitney, and this monumental shift in his life had a profound effect on both his personal outlook and his music. Fatherhood for Kendrick became a transformative experience, prompting him to rethink his priorities and his legacy. In interviews and through his work, he discussed how having a child made him more reflective about the messages he wanted to share with the world. Becoming a father gave Kendrick a new sense of responsibility. It influenced his music, bringing deeper introspection and a more nuanced approach to how he addressed topics like legacy, life choices, and generational impact. His desire to protect and guide his child through the world became a central motivation, and it reflected in the lyrical depth that Kendrick has always infused into his work. On tracks like DNA and Fear, from Damn, Kendrick's explorations of identity and legacy seemed to take on new layers, with fatherhood pushing him to think about the kind of world his child would inherit. It wasn't just about addressing personal struggles or societal issues anymore. It was about creating a better future for the next generation. His pride and love for his family, particularly his role as a father, added complexity to his public persona, showing a more vulnerable and nurturing side to the public. Rumors and challenges, the pressures of fame. As Kendrick's fame grew, so did the rumors and pressures that came with it. The more successful he became, the more he had to grapple with public perception, not only of his music but also of his personal life. The media and fans were eager to dissect every part of Kendrick's life, from his private relationship with Whitney to his views on fatherhood. One of the most persistent challenges was how Kendrick balanced his role as a public figure with his desire to protect his privacy. The constant speculation about his family life, marriage, and his stance on various social issues sometimes made it difficult for Kendrick to keep a clear boundary between his personal and professional worlds. Yet through it all, Kendrick remained committed to keeping his family life as private and sacred as possible, something he occasionally referenced in his interviews. Fame also brought its own set of pressures in terms of expectations. Fans and critics alike were constantly asking for Kendrick to evolve his sound and share more of his personal thoughts. It was during these moments that he found himself wrestling with the weight of his own success. The pressure to be perfect, whether it be as a partner, a father, or a public figure, was often overwhelming. But Kendrick was able to navigate these challenges with the same determination and resilience that had guided him throughout his career. Ultimately, Kendrick Lamar's personal life, while often overshadowed by his musical success, played a pivotal role in shaping the artist he became. His relationship with Whitney, his experiences as a father, and his willingness to confront the complexities of fame and personal growth all contributed to his authenticity. By remaining grounded in his values and family, Kendrick not only demonstrated what it means to evolve as an artist, but also as a person, striving for balance in a world that constantly demands more. Net worth, business moves, and giving back. Kendrick Lamar is not just a rap icon, he is also a strategic businessman and a dedicated philanthropist. Over the years, he has built an impressive fortune through album sales, touring, brand endorsements, and smart investments, ensuring long-term financial stability while giving back to the community that raised him. Kendrick's wealth, a self-made fortune. From humble beginnings in Compton, California, Kendrick Lamar has amassed an estimated net worth of over $75 million. His fortune is primarily driven by album sales and streaming revenue. Kendrick's discography, from Good Kid, M.A.A.d. City to Damn, has collectively sold millions of copies worldwide. With streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, his songs generate millions of dollars annually. Touring and live performances. Kendrick's tours are some of the most lucrative in hip-hop. His Damn tour grossed over $62 million, making it one of the highest-earning rap tours in history. Brand endorsements and deals. He has partnered with Nike, American Express, and Reebok, among others, adding to his revenue streams. His Nike Cortez collaboration was especially successful, further cementing his influence in both music and fashion. Despite his growing wealth, Kendrick has remained humble and financially wise, focusing on long-term investments rather than flashy purchases. Business investments, building generational wealth. Unlike many artists who spend lavishly on cars and jewelry, Kendrick Lamar has taken a strategic approach to his finances. His business moves show a focus on long-term stability and generational wealth, ensuring that his legacy extends far beyond music. Real estate holdings. Kendrick has invested in multiple properties in Los Angeles, including a $10 million mansion in Manhattan Beach. He also owns rental properties, generating passive income outside of music. m.A.A.d, a new era of creativity. In 2020, Kendrick co-founded m.A.A.d, a multimedia company with longtime collaborator Dave Free. More than just a record label, PG Lang is a creative collective focused on music, film, and visual storytelling, designed to empower emerging artists and disrupt traditional industry structures. Partnerships and equity stakes. Instead of simply endorsing brands, Kendrick takes ownership stakes in companies, ensuring he benefits from long-term growth rather than short-term payouts. His investments in tech startups and fashion brands highlight his forward-thinking approach to business. Kendrick's financial intelligence has allowed him to secure his future while staying true to his artistic and social values. Philanthropy, giving back to Compton. Despite his success, Kendrick has never forgotten his roots. He remains deeply connected to Compton, frequently giving back to the community that shaped him. His philanthropic efforts include donating millions to local programs. Kendrick has funded youth programs, music education initiatives, and scholarships for underprivileged students in Compton. Investing in community centers. He has contributed to renovating parks, building community centers, and funding after-school programs, ensuring that Compton's youth have opportunities beyond the streets. Secret acts of generosity. Unlike some celebrities who publicize their donations, Kendrick prefers to keep most of his charitable acts private. Reports have surfaced of him paying off student loans, helping struggling families, and supporting Black-owned businesses behind the scenes. In recognition of his contributions, the city of Compton honored him with the Key to the City in 2016, a testament to the positive impact he has made both through his music and his generosity. The legacy of Kendrick Lamar, more than just a rapper. Kendrick Lamar's journey from a young dreamer in Compton to one of the greatest artists of all time is a testament to perseverance, vision, and purpose. His ability to balance art, business, and philanthropy sets him apart, proving that success is about more than just wealth. It's about impact. Through strategic investments, community efforts, and groundbreaking music, Kendrick has built a legacy that will outlive him, inspiring generations to come. The future of Kendrick Lamar, leaving TDE and the start of PG Lang, a new chapter in creative independence. In 2021, Kendrick Lamar announced that his next album would be his last under Dawg Entertainment TDE, the label that helped shape his career. For fans, this marked the end of an era, but for Kendrick, it was a necessary step toward artistic freedom. That same year, he co-founded PG Lang, a multidisciplinary creative company, with his longtime collaborator Dave Free. Unlike a traditional record label, PG Lang is described as a service company focused on storytelling through music, film, and visual media. It's a place where Kendrick can nurture emerging artists, experiment with new forms of art, and push creative boundaries without industry constraints. Their first major signing was Baby Keem, Kendrick's younger cousin. His breakthrough single, Orange Soda, was followed by his 2021 album, The Melodic Blue, which featured Kendrick on multiple tracks, most notably Family Ties, which won a Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance. With PG Lang, Kendrick isn't just making music, he's building a movement, one that expands beyond hip-hop and into cinema, culture, and global storytelling. The legacy he's building, more than just a rapper. Kendrick Lamar has cemented himself as one of the greatest artists of all time, but his influence stretches far beyond rap. A cultural icon, his music has become a voice for social justice, addressing race, identity, trauma, and resilience. All Right became an anthem for the Black Lives Matter movement, and To Pimp a Butterfly is studied in universities as a historical and political masterpiece. A global inspiration, rappers like J. Cole, Baby Keem, and Denzel Curry cite him as a major influence. Breaking barriers for hip-hop, winning a Pulitzer Prize, solidified rap as a respected form of literature and high art. From being a kid in Compton to becoming a global cultural leader, Kendrick's journey is a blueprint for artists who want to stay true to their craft while making a real impact. Will he retire? The speculation about his future. Since releasing Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers in 2022, Kendrick has remained relatively quiet, only surfacing for select features, like his collaboration with Beyoncé on America Has a Problem. Many fans believe he might take the Andre 3000 route, choosing artistic freedom over industry expectations. He has hinted at wanting to step back from the spotlight, focusing more on his family, business ventures, and creative projects rather than chasing commercial success. Still, Kendrick has always been unpredictable. Whether he drops another classic album, expands PG Lang into film and media, or shifts into a completely new space, one thing is clear: his story isn't over. Whenever Kendrick decides to speak again, the world will listen. From Compton to greatness, through struggle and success, through victories and losses, Kendrick Lamar has redefined what it means to be a rapper. More than an artist, he's a voice, a storyteller, a leader. His music speaks to the pain and triumphs of an entire generation, addressing issues far beyond beats and rhymes. He's inspired millions, challenged the industry, and remained true to his vision. From the streets of Compton to the world stage, his journey is nothing short of legendary. And this is just the beginning. His legacy is still unfolding. The